Well, shares of Peugeot Citroën trading lower after the French car maker posted a bigger loss for 2009 than had been expected. The net loss widened to €1.1 billion after car sales in many of its key markets plunged in the first half. Our own Stefan Pedrazzi spoke to the CEO of the business earlier on and asked him how he saw the market in 2010.
Well, the conditions in 2010 will remain contrasted in the world because if you will see growth in China, growth in the US, unfortunately in Europe, we will see again a decrease in the markets. The market in Europe is decreased by 5% in 2009. It will probably, according to our assumptions, decrease in 2010 by 9%.
Are you able to say or to forecast whether or not Peugeot Citroën will be or not profitable in 2010?
I think we've been very clear. We are very confident on our sales momentum, as I said. We are also very confident that the performance plan of 3.3 billion euros that we have launched in November, which will deliver in 2010 about 1/3, will be achieved. So we are confident that this will allow us to have recurring operating income, which is positive on the first half, and for the second half, when we have the proper visibility, we'll say.
ArcelorMittal has announced today that the price of steel will decrease at the beginning of this year. I assume it's a very good news for you.
Well, I think it's not a bad news because in the recent period, we were a bit worried that the prices of the commodities were increasing because of the demand in China. Because of the supply balance in steel, it's clearly not the case. And we will have an impact of this good news more on the second half because our current contracts go up until the end of the first half.
What about your negotiation with Mitsubishi? Where do you stand today?
We stand, I think, at the same point as what we said in December, when we clearly stated that we were working to broaden our cooperation with Mitsubishi, which, by the way, I think is a very fruitful cooperation. We have, thanks to the Mitsubishi cooperation, we will be the first to sell electrical vehicles, the Peugeot Ion and the Citroën C0, in October of this year, 2010. And also we have cooperation on the 4x4 and a common joint venture in Russia. Now, we have said that we were in a process to look on how we can enlarge this cooperation, and this could go up to a strategic partnership. And we confirm today what we said in December.
But could it be a proper merger?
We have said it could go up to a strategic partnership, which includes some equity involvement.
But not a full merger?
Well, as I say, I think it's too early to go beyond what we have said in December.
And one last question as we talk about Asia. You have very strong forecast for China in terms of market share?
Well, definitely we are not pleased that PSA, Peugeot Citroën, is, between quotes, only 3% of market share in China. And I think the good news is that in 2009, we have reversed a declining trend of the last 6 or 7 years, thanks to new models which are really focused on the Chinese customers, the Citroën C4, the C5 that we have started in Wuhan, which is a very good month of January, and for Peugeot, we launched the new 408. So with this, I think we will reverse the trend and see an increase of market share in 2010.
Now, the French drug maker Sanofi Aventis has beaten forecasts with a 10% rise in fourth quarter net profits. Key drugs and vaccines have all helped to boost sales. However, the company is still planning cost savings in order to generate €2 billion of savings by 2013. Earlier, in another First on CNBC, we spoke to the CEO of Sanofi and asked him how the cancellation of swine flu vaccines had affected the company.
We will end up selling all of the H1N1 vaccine that we were able to make. We were always very prudent about that. It's a one-off revenue. So actually, our sales in 2009 were in line with our expectations, and we would expect to sell roughly the same amount in 2010.
Well, for more